칼 세이건, 코스모스. Chapter 6. Traveler's Tales. This is the time when humans have begun to sail the sea of space. The modern ships that fly the Kepleronian trajectories to the planet are unmanned. They are beautifully constructed, semi-intelligent robots exploring unknown world. Voyages to the outer solar system are controlled from a single place on the planet Earth. The Jet Propulsion Laboratory (JPL) of the National Aerospace and Space Administration in Pasadena, California. On July 9, 1979, a spacecraft called Voyager 2 encountered the Jupiter system. It has been almost 2 years sailing through interplanetary space. The ship is made of millions of separate parts assembled redundantly, so that if some component fails, others will take over its responsibilities. The spacecraft weighs 0.9 tons and would fit a large living room. Its mission takes it so far from the sun that it cannot be powered by solar energy, so other spacecraft are. Instead, voyages rely on a small nuclear power plant, drawing hundreds of watts from the radioactive decay of a pellet of plutonium. Its three integrated computers and most of its housekeeping functions, for example, its temperature control system, are localized in its middle. It receives commands from Earth and radio its findings back to Earth through a large antenna, 3.7 meters in diameter. Most of its scientific instruments are on a skate platform, which tracks Jupiter, one of its moons, as the spacecraft hurtles past. There are many scientific instruments, ultraviolet and infrared spectrometers, devices to measure charged particles and magnetic fields, and radio emission from Jupiter. But the most productive have been the two telephone cameras, designed to take tens of thousands of pictures of the planetary islands in the outer solar system. Jupiter is surrounded by a set of individual but extremely dangerous high-energy charged particles. The spacecraft must pass through the outer edge of this radiation belt to examine Jupiter and its moons closer, and to continue its mission to Saturn and beyond. But the charged particles can damage the dedicated instrument and fry the electronics. Jupiter is also surrounded by a ring of solid debris discovered 4 months earlier by Voyager 1, which Voyager 2 had to traverse. A collision with a small boulder could have sent the spacecraft tumbling widely out of control, its antenna unable to lock on the Earth, its data lost forever. Just before encounter, the mission controllers were restive. There were some alarms and emergencies, but the combined intelligence of the human on Earth and the robot in space circumvented disaster. Launched on August 20th, 1977, it moved on an arcing trajectory past the orbit Mars through the asteroid belt to approach the Jupiter system and thread its way past the planet and among its 14 or so moons. Voyager's passage by Jupiter accelerated it toward a close encounter with Saturn. Saturn's gravity will propel it onto Uranus. After Uranus, it will plunge on faster Neptune, leaving the solar system, becoming an interstellar spacecraft fated to roam forever the great ocean between the stars. These voyages of exploration and discovery are the latest in a long series that have characterized and distinguished human history. In the 15th and 17th century, you could travel from Spain to the Azores in a few days. In the same time it takes us now to cross the channel from the Earth to the Moon. It took then a few months to traverse the Atlantic Ocean and reach what was called the New World, the Americas. Today, it takes a few months to cross the ocean of the inner solar system and make a planetfall to Mars and Venus, which are truly and literally new worlds awaiting us. In the 17th and 18th century, you could travel from Holland to China in a year or two. The time it has taken voyagers to travel from Earth to Jupiter. The manual costs were relatively more than now, but in both cases less than 1% of the appropriate gross national product. Our present spaceship with their robot crews are the harbingers, the vanguard of a future human expedition to the planet. You have traveled this way before. The 15th through 17th centuries represent a major turning point in our history. It then became clear that we could venture to all parts of our planet. Plucky sailing vessels from half a dozen European nations dispersed to every ocean. There are many motivations for these journeys: ambition, greed, national pride, religious fanaticism, prison pardons, scientific curiosity, the thirst for adventure, and the unavailability of suitable employment in Sri Madura. These voyagers worked much evil as well as much good, but the net result has been to bind us together, to decrease provincialism, to unify the human species, and to advance powerfully our knowledge to our planet and ourselves. Emblematic of the epoch of sailing ships, exploration and discovery is the revolutionary Dutch Republic of the 17th century. Having recently declared its independence from the powerful Spanish Empire, it embraced more full than any other nation of its time the European Enlightenment. It was a rational, orderly, creative society. But because Spanish ports and vessels were closed to Dutch shipping, the economic survival of the tiny republic depends on its ability to construct, man, and deploy a great fleet of commercial sailing vessels. The Dutch East India Company, a joint governmental and private enterprise, sent ships to the far corners of the world to acquire rare commodities and resell them at a profit in Europe. Such voyages were the lifeblood of the Republic. Navigational charts and maps were classified as a state secret. Ships often embarked with sealed waters. Suddenly, the Dutch were present all over the planet. The Barents Sea in the Arctic Ocean and the Tasmania in Australia are named after Dutch sea captains. These expeditions were not merely commercial exploitation, although there are plenty of that. There were a powerful element of scientific adventure and the zest for discovery of new land, new plant, and animal, new people. The pursuit of knowledge for its own sake. The Amsterdam Town Hall reflects the competence and secular self-image of 17th century Holland. It took a shipload of marble to build. Constantine Huygens, a poet and diplomat of the time, remarked that the town hall dispelled the gaudy squint and squalor. In the town hall to this day, there is a statue of Atlas supporting the heavens, festooned with constellation. Beneath the justice, brandishing a golden sword and scales, standing between death and punishment, and threading underfoot avarice and envy, the gods of the merchant. The Dutch whose economy was based on private profit, nevertheless understood that the unrestrained pursuit of profit posed a threat to the nation's soul. A less allegorical symbol may be found on the Atlas and Justice of the floor of the town hall. It's a great inlaid map, dating from the late 17th or early 18th century, reaching from West Africa to the Pacific Ocean. The whole world was Holland's arena, and on this map, in the disarming modesty, the Dutch omit themselves, using only the old Latin name Belgium for their part of Europe.